NLDS preview show. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me at DMAC_LA. How you guys doing tonight? Welcome in here. But yeah, before we get things kicked off, we're going to break down this series against the Washington Nationals. Playoff baseball is here, folks. Get excited. You got your boys in blue kicking off against the Nationals tomorrow. You got Walker Buehler announced as a Game 1 starter. He's going to be taking on Patrick Corbin, who's a famous Dodger killer. Patrick Corbin, a .59 ERA since 2018 against the Dodgers. But we're going to break everything down here. But let's get your, by the way, where are you guys watching tonight's show? Let me know in the comments. Give me your zip code, give me your area code. But we're going to break everything down. Welcome into the Dodgers Nation NLDS preview show. So we got Elm Street. Okay, so let's go A's. I think it's 4-1 now for the Rays. Hector, can't wait for tomorrow. You and me both, my man. It is finally here. Last night, the Nationals get an exciting win. And you got to give Soto a lot of credit. It was nice to see Josh Hader melt down. And there seems to be this narrative that, hey, the Washington Nationals are carrying all the momentum against the Los Angeles Dodgers, that they got this monkey off their back, so to speak. But, hey, it was just one game. Last time I checked, they still haven't won a multi-game division series, and they haven't won a playoff series. So I still think there's pressure on the Washington Nationals. And then also the Los Angeles Dodgers have momentum on their side. The Los Angeles Dodgers, they go 18-6 to close things out. And if you look at September, 12-6. So the Dodgers, they finished strong, and the offense, they're getting everyone back. Everyone's getting healthy. Justin Turner, Joe Kelly are going to be good to go. David Freese is going to be a big part of the action. But how do you guys feel about Walker Buehler as a Game 1 choice? Ryan O'Ryan Montez. I told you this whole year, right? I told you this whole year that Walker Buehler was going to be that Game 1 starter in the division series, and it looks like Dave Roberts was on this. We're on the same page with Dave Roberts, but we believe in you, Ruth. We got Ryan. Your music is still on. We got Boise, Idaho. What up, El Careza? A's are struggling from Hector. Turn the music down so we can hear. My bad. The intro music has been turned down. Texas is in the house. 661, John Isles. We got, might want to turn, yeah, the music is down. South Central from Palumi. We got Elm Street, Elmo. You're loving the music from Elm Street. Hector, bruh, Dodgers carrying a 6-game winning streak into the postseason and 106 wins for the year. We've got momentum. Yes, this team definitely has momentum. This is a special Dodger team. This is not your run-of-the-mill Dodger team last year backing into the playoffs, having to play a game 163. This is a Dodger team where the Dodgers, they scored the most runs and allowed the fewest in the National League, and they produced a plus 273 run differential. That's third best of any team this century. So this is not, if it wasn't for the Houston Astros, we'd be talking about this Dodgers as that all-time great team, posting that 273 run differential. They're only behind the Seattle Mariners at plus 300 and the 2019 Stros at 280. So I'm definitely with you guys. The Dodgers have the momentum on their side. They have home field advantage on their side. And then don't forget, they burned Strasburg last night. 33 pitches for Strasburg. He pitched 3 scoreless innings for the Nats last night. And they're not going to have him for Game 1. Game 2, of course, he's going to be the Game 2 starter. But will he be as fresh as if he would have if they would have thrown him out there if they had the lead? So they had to burn Strasburg in that one, and Patrick Corbin is the concern. But yes, the Dodgers do have momentum. They definitely have the momentum on their side. Now the Nationals and the Dodgers. If you look, as you got Walker is a competitor. Yeah, how do you guys feel about Walker? What up, PKYS? What's up, Doug? Ruth, LA Dodgers. Matt, Richmond, Virginia in the house. Walker is a competitor. Real FRG, Buehler is 100% the right call. Walker Buehler, to me, is 100% the right call, and there's no question about it. On the season, Walker Buehler, a career-high 30 starts, 14-4 record, a 3.26 ERA, and 182 and a third innings pitched. And if you look at him in 3 career games, 2 starts against Washington, Buehler's allowed 5 earned runs, 13 in the third innings with a 3.38 ERA. His inconsistency this year has been a little bit of a concern. If you look at 6 starts this season, he gave up 5 or more earned runs, and then 9 where he gave up 0. I think this time of year, we saw when the adrenaline kicks up for Walker Buehler, the Buell dog is absolutely lights out. You saw it in Game 3 of the World Series last year, and you saw it in Game 163. So I think he's going to put that inconsistency behind him, and we're going to have a locked-in Walker Buehler. He was messing with his mechanics a little bit in his final start, but you know Walker Buehler is ready to roll. He's ready to face off against the Washington Nationals. If you look at this three-headed monster of the Washington Nationals, everyone wants to talk about, yes, they do tout three aces. Max Scherzer, when he's on, he's best in the business. Definitely he's in that conversation. Steven Strasburg has had his best year of late. And if you look at Steven Strasburg, he's dominated Patrick Corbin, a famous Dodger killer. But if you look at it, with Hyun-Jin Ryu, Walker Buehler, and Clayton Kershaw, they have a combined record of 44-14, posting a 2.87 ERA. And the Nationals, Scherzer, Strasburg, and Corbin, they have a 43-20 record and a 3.18 ERA. So to me, I think they line up Walker Buehler in this start. You get Game 1, and I think it's going to come out there. If you look at Walker Buehler this year against the Nationals, 7 innings, 2 starts against the Nationals this year, 1 at home, 1 on the road, 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. At home, 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 7 strikeouts. On the road, 5 1/3, 4 earned runs, 6 Ks. So if you look at Walker Buehler's splits at home, he's 6-1 with a 2.86 ERA, a 112 strikeouts, 10 walks, and 208 batting average against. Compare that to his road record, 8-3 with a 3.66 ERA, 103 Ks, 27 walks, and a 1.19 WHIP. And opponents are hitting .338 against him on the road. So you put Walker Buehler in the friendly confines of the Chavez Ravine, you get Game 1, and then also Hyun-Jin Ryu gets rest for Game 2. They haven't announced it yet, but to me, they go with Hyun-Jin Ryu in Game 2. I've heard some people talking, some birdies out in Dodgerland have told me that Hyun-Jin Ryu is likely going to be that Game 2 starter. And to me, he's another guy. He's carrying the momentum right now. Max Scherzer, he struck out 6 last night, but he has not looked like the same guy that we've seen when he went out with that back injury. Last night, gave up the home run to Yasmani Grandal. You remember him? I don't. And then also to Thames, but he did strike out 6. But if you look at Hyun-Jin Ryu, the rest has got him right. Hyun-Jin Ryu, a 1.21 ERA in his past 3 starts. He's dominated the Nationals in 2 starts this season. 2 starts against the Nationals, a .61 ERA, a 4.15 OPS, only 2 extra base hits. So you know the lineup that they're going to bring out there. You saw what Soto did. By the way, how did you guys like seeing Josh Hader have a meltdown yesterday? How do you feel about that? To me, it couldn't have happened to it couldn't happen to a worse guy yesterday. Josh Hader, he gets raked by Soto, gives up that lead. But back to your comments. So you guys, everyone is feeling good about Walker Buehler in Game 1, Hyun-Jin Ryu in Game 2, and then Clayton Kershaw in Game 3. How do you feel about, definitely don't forget to mash that heart button and also like and share on Facebook, guys. October is here, postseason. We're going to be rocking with you every night for the postseason. So it's really going down. But Elm Street, A's got a rally going. John Isles, red team always scares me in the postseason, excluding the 2009 Cardinals and the 2016 Nationals. No Dodger team has won a playoff series against red teams since the wild card era started. That's a really good point, and it's a fair point. Hey, don't forget, Dodgers number is red. But yeah, it's a fair point, but I don't think the Dodgers are going to see color. I think the Dodgers and the Dodgers batters are going to see red against this lineup, against this high-velocity pitching staff. So that's, I think, one of the main factors is the Dodgers' ability to hit high-velocity pitching. And you saw it, and you saw it too, and how they can hit guys. They're tops in the league from that standpoint. And I think when the Dodgers come in, they're going to rake. They're going to have a great shot. If you look at Gavin Lux, he's going to be on our roster. He's going to play. Dave Roberts mentioned that. But that's a great point. Yeah, I think you'll add another win though against a red opponent when it comes to the Nationals for sure. But back to your comments here. 1 second here. All right. There we go. But back to your comments here. We got we bleed blue, Elm Street. We don't bleed red. Yeah, definitely. Don't bleed red. Hey, you bleed Dodger blue. But yes, I think that, and also going back to, how do you guys feel about Clayton Kershaw in Game 3? So it's looking like Clayton Kershaw in Game 3. And if you look at him, he's thrown less innings on the road, but he has a higher ERA, but he's given up less home runs, and he has a lower batting average. So I think that's the move. You put Clayton Kershaw, and you give him his chance to have that signature start on the road. Don't forget what happened in Game 5. Clayton Kershaw came in, got the final out of that division series, and I think that Game 3 is going to be big for Clayton Kershaw. The Dodgers, don't forget, too, the Dodgers dropped Game 2 in 2016 when Rich Hill was a starter, and they still came back and win. So these two home games are definitely big time for the Dodgers to come out of the gates. They haven't really played a very meaningful game in a while now, in a long stretch of time. So I think the Dodgers coming out, feeling that playoff intensity. I think that when the Dodgers clinched back in early September. So those playoff juices are going to be flowing, and the Dodgers are going to want to quell all that momentum that Washington has after getting that wild card win. So if you look at the Dodgers, if you look at the Nationals versus the Dodgers scored 30 runs in 7 games. Washington, they scored 27. So offensively, the Nationals are a team that has they're not as deep as the Dodgers, but they do have a potent lineup. So they're going to have a potent lineup against the Dodgers this year. If you look at it, they're hitting they're averaging over like 5.5 runs per game, and you saw what they can do with Anthony Rendon. Taking a look at this Nationals lineup, Anthony Rendon, and they're really led by Anthony Rendon, Juan Soto, Adam Eaton, Trey Turner, our old friend Dozier, remember him, Cabrera, and then Robles, and then Howie Kendrick is a guy who's really having a great year. Old friend Howie Kendrick, he's hitting .344 in 121 games. If you look at Juan Soto, the hero from last night, if you look at him, talk about not having a sophomore slump. He gets that clutch knock last night, and then he's had a .949 OPS, a 4.8 WAR, and then he hit /282, 401, and .548, 34 home runs, and 110 RBIs. Now, Anthony Rendon, he's the guy that we got to watch out for. He's the guy who that the Dodgers are eyeing him in the free agency market. Him, 154 WRC plus, but he did definitely go cold in September. He was scorching hot. He was blistering hot, and then his production started to dip in September. But if you look at him, he finished 2019 with an OPS above 1,000. He's slashing .319, .412, and .598. 34 home runs in a league-leading 126 RBI. So they're going to be concerned with him. By the way, what is everyone's prediction for this series? Who you guys got? You guys got Dodgers in 5, Dodgers via sweep. Where do you guys got? I think the Dodgers are going to win in 4 games. I think the Dodgers win this series in 4. I think that starting pitching is going to be tough. I think it'll get them a game. You have a 3-headed monster like that, you'd hope it'll get you 1 game. And then, of course, we'll see what they do in Game 1. Patrick Corbin is no joke. A 2-0 since the start of 2018, a 2-0 record against the Dodgers, a .59 ERA, 330 and a third innings, and the Dodgers are hitting just 127 against him. 39 strikeouts to 12 walks. So once they get over the hurdle, that is Patrick Corbin, I think the Dodgers can settle down, take care of Game 2, because Hyun-Jin Ryu is going to come in Game 2, and he's going to be all business against the Dodgers. But where do you guys got it? Jose Rod, you got Dodgers in 4. Maddie, we got Dodgers in 4. Roger, Dodgers sweep. Adam Hanks, 916, checking in. Yeah, if you have not checked in, give me your area code, zip code. Where are you repping Dodgers Nation from tonight? Go Lakers 79, Dodgers in 4, as long as Jansen don't pitch anything. Kenley Jansen is a guy that you definitely have to worry about. Kenley Jansen is a guy that we're going to find out early on here what Kenley Jansen is going to be about in this postseason. So arguably one of, if not the best closers in the game at one point. There's no doubting that, but there's also no denying that he's coming off the worst season in his career. So we're going to see how much Dave Roberts really trusts Kenley Jansen. I definitely believe that they've ruled out any 6-out saves, any real high-leverage saves that involve more than 3 outs. Who knows if they're going to bring him in with base runners on. If there's a base runner on, that's basically runners in scoring position. They're going to get to second on Kenley Jansen. So we're going to see about his diminished effectiveness. Can he channel that Kenley Jansen that we saw against the Mets, that we saw late in the season where that cutter was cutting against San Diego? If you saw, some of the analytics about his cut fastball have been trending upward. The cut on his fastball up almost a half inch. You saw that when he can rear back, he can still get you 40, 45 on the gun. It's just going to be how effective is that slider going to be, because you know that he's not going to throw 90% cutters like we saw in previous postseasons, and maybe that will be the difference. Maybe mixing it up where guys aren't sitting back on his cutter waiting for a hanging cutter. If he can throw that slider for strikes, keep them off balance, maybe we can get the most out of Kenley Jansen. But when it comes to the long-term use of him, if he is not right, if he's blowing saves, look, this is a 5-game series against, to me, the second-best team in the National League. To me, the Washington Nationals, they started 19 for 31. 19-31 was their record. They ran off 75-38 record since that 19-31 start. A very hot team. So I think with Kenley Jansen, we're going to find out. We are going to find out if he's up to the task, if he's going to be able to contribute. But look, the Dodgers have other guys that can close out games. Joe Kelly's going to be ready to go. He's got that body ache, but he's going to be ready to go. And that Julio Urias is another guy that can pick up the slack. So that's their closer. And then that's the big factor in the game. You know that the Dodgers offense is going to it's going to be a tough task. Going against this Nationals pitching staff, that is where they hang their hat. The reason why we're playing the Nationals. Elm Street thinks the Braves are the second best team. Okay. Roger, KJ in the slider with a 93 and 94 mile per hour fastball. He'll do fine. Wom, sweep, let's go Dodgers. Maddie, assuming we did well since we swept the D-backs. Hey, exactly. Samuel, Dodgers in 3. Get your predictions in, guys. Get your predictions in. The Dodgers have like 5 closers if you think about it. Exactly. The Dodgers have built that versatility. And the Dodgers, trust me, the Dodgers will not be afraid to use a starting pitcher. They will not be afraid if Walker Buehler's lined up for tomorrow, you can see him at Game 5. If they need him to close out Game 4, Walker Buehler will not say no to Dave Roberts in that situation. You know that he will definitely be up to the task, and the Beal Dog can close it out. So there's that element. The Dodgers have built this depth in the rotation and in the bullpen for series like this. But yes, there is no doubting this is a juggernaut of a pitching staff. 1,010 strikeouts. They lead the National League, second most in baseball behind the Houston Astros. Of course, they have Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander, 2 guys who have a 36 and a 39% strikeout percentage. But Scherzer, if you look into the numbers, Scherzer, a 2.248 DRA, ERA under 3, a FIP of 2.45. And if you look at him, he's right up there with strikeouts again. 250 strikeouts. And then Washington, they're also Steven Strasburg to me. I think that of all the guys to watch out for is going to be Steven Strasburg. If you remember early in the season, Dodgers, early game, 10 a.m. Pacific start. Steven Strasburg had his way with the Dodgers. 7 innings, 2 hits. He really went off. He had a no-hitter late in that one. So Steven Strasburg is really having one of the best years of his career. Finished with 18 wins, a WAR of 6.5, and he led the team in strikeouts. He struck out 251 in only 209 innings. So also, too, thing about Strasburg, too, is this is 33 starts. So this is the 33 starts. That's the second most he's made in a season during his 10-year career. So you wonder, how's he holding up? But he looked fresh last night, 3 scoreless. To me, I'm worried most about Steven Strasburg. He is a gamer. I think he's ready to put his stamp on the postseason. And then, of course, Patrick Corbin. But that's why, look, Patrick Corbin has had such great success. The ERA, all the numbers point to him having success against the Dodgers, but the Dodgers have the benefit. Look, they're coming. This is a day removed from them popping champagne and riding that emotional wave of winning a wild card game. A franchise, that national franchise, they hadn't won since 1981 when they were the Montreal Expos, okay? And it was there's been four major league teams in Washington since 1890. One of them has won a postseason series. So this is a team that's riding that emotional high to face a 106-win Dodger team. I don't think they're going to be up to the task in Game 1. I think the Dodgers come out ready to roll, and I think that even if Patrick Corbin has his way, predict the score of Game 1? Throw out your Game 1 predictions. Let me know in the comments. I think that Corbin, yes, he has his usual success against the Dodgers, but I think the Dodgers get to that bullpen. I think they grind out at bats like we've seen all season long, and then maybe he goes 5-6 innings, but once they get to that bullpen, then they start to rake. I see the Dodgers winning tomorrow 6-3. Let's say 6-3. I think Walker Buehler maybe gives up some solo shots. I think the bullpen does their thing. This Dodger team is ready to flip that switch and get it going for the postseason. October's here. Who's ready? Jose Rod 5-2, Doug Slayton 7-2, Jose Rod LA. By the way, yeah, Jose Rod LA, Roger 8-2, Elm Street. I feel like we'll do better against Verlander than we will Strasburg. Look, I think so too. I think if you look at it, that is one of the aces up the Dodgers' sleeve in this postseason. So as a team, they slugged a major league leading, the Dodgers, your boys in blue, they slugged a major league leading 542 against pitches of 95 miles per hour and up in 2019. So slugging 542 against 95 and up, that is the postseason. The postseason is about high velocity, and that's what plays up, and the Dodgers have the response. They have the recipe to take on big pitchers with big arms. So 542 against pitches of 95 or more, and that's higher than the Dodgers' overall slugging percentage of 472 and 123 points above the league average of 419. So other thing, too, is when the Dodgers do get through those starters, when they do get out from under Patrick Corbin and Steven Strasburg and Max Scherzer, Tanner Rainey, that's their hardest throwing reliever. So he can't expect to just come in and shut down this Dodger offense at will. He's not going to be able to come in and just throw the Dodgers and throw his pitches past the Dodgers. Look what the Dodgers did to Josh Hader when Cody Bellinger went deep on him early in the year. Look what happened when what the Dodgers did to Edwin Diaz. The Dodgers can get through gas, and I think that they're up to the task, and they want to show Major League Baseball that the Dodgers are the team that you need to be talking about right now. Garrett Cole is nastier than Strasburg. Look at his stats, Cyberpunk. I think Garrett Cole is straight nasty. There's no question about it, but I think Steven Strasburg, you're really splitting hairs there, but we'll see how Garrett Cole fares in this postseason. I want to see Garrett Cole in this postseason, see if his stuff holds up, if it matches some of his regular season performance. But Robert, 757 for Virginia Beach, home of Chris Taylor, CT3. Shout out, yes, Virginia Beach. He went to Virginia. He's a Cavalier. Shout out to the Cavaliers out in Virginia. Tina G-Man, welcome to the party. Always rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation. And actually, since it's the first time, everyone is always rocking with us here on the NLDS preview show. I like the fact that Roberts is starting the young fella. Let's get it done. Dodgers take care of business. Adam Hanks, love red shoes. Love red shoes. Christian Louboutin, you can sponsor the show. Samuel, the Nationals starting pitching will be a great test for the Dodgers batters to prepare them to win it all. That's a great point. The Dodgers aren't going against the Braves of last year or the Diamondbacks of the year prior. Or this is a team that's going to get the Dodgers right. The Dodgers are going to be clicked right into place. The Dodgers will have to be ready for a battle, for a war against against the Nationals. And I think that this is a great thing for the Dodgers. I think that they're going to benefit from having to go against elite competition in the divisional round because, hey, once you get through this monster, once you slay this dragon, that NLCS, you give the Dodgers 7 games. Now, that's why this is a series. That's why this is a series because with this Nationals bullpen, if this is a 7-game series, I don't think I don't think you'll have pundits or people worrying or any fear that the Nationals could potentially dethrone the Dodgers and prevent them from making their third straight World Series appearance. I think it's all about, of course, it's a 5-game series, but once they slay this dragon, you're talking about 7-game series against the Braves. I think it'll be the Braves or potentially the Cardinals, and that is where the Dodgers' depth will definitely win them that series, and I think they'll coast. But getting into this Nationals bullpen, that is where it comes down. The Dodgers got to grind out these bats and then beat up on the bullpen. So if you look at Sean Doolittle, he finished the season with an ERA above 4, and then if you look at Sean Doolittle, yes, Sean Doolittle, he has been elite in the past. Sean Doolittle has been a top-tier closer that many of you guys out there were mentioning when we were talking about adding someone during the season. But he finished the ERA with an ERA above 4. So a lot like Kenley Jansen, a closer who's had elite stuff, who's been the guy in his pen, but has had a down year. So he's faced attrition. His career is getting to the point where maybe he's starting to feel it a little like Kenley Jansen, but he's allowed 12 runs since the beginning of August. He's allowed 12 runs in 12 innings, and he's allowed opponents to hit 308 against him. So you bring in Sean Doolittle to close it out tight against the Dodgers. I like the Dodgers' chances. I think the Dodgers are going to have their way with this Nationals bullpen. And if you look at this Nationals bullpen, they've had 7 different pitchers, 7 in at least 36 games this season. So they're a team that throws guys out there. Like I said, you're going to see Rainey as their hard thrower coming out there. And then also former Dodger. How about Daniel Hudson coming off? This is a guy who's dealt with Tommy John. He's the other guy to watch out for. Daniel Hudson, he might be the guy they're going to throw out there to close out clutch games. You're going to see in high leverage, high intensity situations. He's got a 1.44 ERA in 24 games. They picked him up, and he also has a sub-1 whip. So that's a guy you got to watch out for as far as their pen. But they don't throw out guys like the Dodgers have with their extended relief. But if you talk about this offense, when you're talking about this offense, oh, by the way, let's get back to the comments. How you guys feeling about, you think the Dodgers will rake? Will the Dodgers just obliterate this Nationals bullpen? To me, I think that's where they're vulnerable, and the Dodgers know that. And the Dodgers, that is going to be something that's going to affect their approach against the starters. So let's say the Dodgers tomorrow going against Patrick Corbin. Let's say they're shut out in the first 3 innings. Let's say they only post a run. Let's say they only played a few runs. It's how are their at-bats going? How are the at-bats? What is the approach going to be like for this Dodger team? Because as important as getting runs is working that count up, getting Corbin, getting Strasburg, and getting Max Scherzer out of the game. And as they do that, they get to this bullpen and they hit that knockout blow. Dodgers will be on to the NLCS. We got John Isles. Do you prefer the wild card teams to be determined by a 1-game playoff or a 3-game mini series? John Isles, great question. By the way, John Isles, did I not predict that the Dodgers would finish with 106 wins? And did I not say that they were going to run the table? I think I told you back in, was it like July? I said like 106 wins. But hey, I'm not trying to take a victory lap. I'm just saying John Isles, I used to call him John Isla, so respect to John Isles. But to me, I like it the way it is. I think the way it is, you throw in a 1-game series, almost gives you that NCAA tournament feel where it's one and done, it's do or die. Feels like the NFL playoffs where it's 1 game. And then also, I think that's a long layoff. If you throw a team like the Dodgers, they're waiting on a 3-game series. You're looking at potentially a week to a 2-week, a week and a half layoff, so they could get cold. So I think it's perfect like it is. It's exciting. I wish the NBA playoffs, their first round is ridiculous. 7 games. They should make a 3-game series out of that. So I think it's a law of diminishing returns. Less is more for that first game. Tonight, it looks like the Rays are running away with it against the Oakland A's. Who do you guys have in this game? I don't know. I just came off the top of the head, but play discipline by Roger. Jose Rod, 1 game. How do you guys feel? Is there anyone out there that would like to see anything different than a 1-game series? I mean, I would actually prefer it to be 1 game, but make it like 30 innings. How about that? That way they're burning pitchers left and right, and then the Dodgers don't have to worry about guys like Steven Strasburg. Jose Rod, I wanted Oakland. Tina G-Man, the bad part is the travel. They have to go all the way across the country. Yeah, you're totally right. The travel is a factor, And that, too, is a factor, of course, as you mentioned, against the Nationals. By the way, do you guys consider – I want to get you guys' opinion on this. What's your take on – do you think that this is the monkey off their back? Do you think that this is the monkey off their back? To me, I think it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, to me, the Washington Nationals have never eliminated a division winner in the postseason, and they have still never won a multi-game postseason series. Sorry, I'm a stickler for the details here, and I'm just saying. So other things to get into for this series, of course, is the offense. The offense, if you look at the offense for the Dodgers. So one thing I want to ask you guys, who do you guys think is going to be the MVP for the, not like there is one, but who do you think is going to be the MVP on offense for the Dodgers in this series? To me, David Freese. So David Freese, by the way, go to DodgersNation.com. There's a great piece about David Freese, about David Freese and how the Dodgers are going to look to use him. So if you look at David Freese, he's got he's batting over 300 against Corbin. He's a guy who can get it done. And if you look at him, he's a guy too that if you look at David Freese, he's a guy that's going to come in. I think he's going to rake. I think that they've been keeping him on ice. They've been keeping Freese on ice all season long for a series just like this. So to me, I think David Freese is going to be that MVP, or Elm Street. I think Chris Taylor could come in. That's a great call. Charles Hamill, welcome to the party. Where you been, Charles? Been saving a seat for you. No, if anything, the Nats winning now puts more pressure on them, which is our advantage for this series. Exactly. Freese, Taylor, clutch hitters. Cyberpunk, MVP, a rookie. Oh, so you got one of the rookies. You think it's going to be Gavin Lux. You think it'll be Gavin Lux, Will Smith. Hey, if you look at Will Smith is a guy that has totally gotten together. Will Smith, I think, too. Look for Will Smith, his first time under these bright lights. And the key is don't let these lights get too bright, okay? Like Cody Bellinger, a lot of the guys asking Cody, hey, what's it like playing against guys like Corbin, guys like Scherzer, like big-time postseason arms. He said, don't think about the pitcher. Go up there, have your at-bats. And, yeah, I kind of want to change to Cody Bellinger, basically because he's going to get his MVP. He's going to get his bobblehead, first postseason bobblehead giveaway. So I kind of want to go with Cody Bellinger. But you mentioned, Will Smith is a guy. I think he's going to have a big division round. I think that they'll probably throw Russell Martin with Hyun-Jin Ryu in Game 2. But Will Smith, if you look at him, he's hitting .326 with runners in scoring position and .381 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Last 7 games, as we get closer to the postseason, now we're here. Will Smith, he's hitting .308. So that's a big bump. And then also, like I said, David Freese is a guy you got to watch out for. But getting back into this, I think Corey Seager, Muncy, and Smith have a good series. I think Corey Seager getting his first taste of postseason action. I think he's a guy that you want to see come in there and have great success. So if you look at Corey Seager at home against left-handed pitching, so I think Corey Seager could be the MVP too. Can I pick like 5? But I guess I've already said David Freese, so I'm going to go with David Freese still. But I think Corey Seager at home versus left-handed pitching since July 12th. He's slashing .343, .395, and .600 with a .165 WRC plus. So he struggled early on against left-handed pitching, but look, Corey Seager is a guy that you're going to see too come in and you look to have success. And how about Gavin Lux? How, do you guys think that? And then Gavin Lux, Matt Beatty. I think you'll see Matt Beatty come up in there. Matt Beatty, he's gonna be a guy that you're gonna see come up in a clutch situation. He's hitting .385 with runners in scoring position with an OPS of 1,083. But last 7 games for Matt Beatty, not one for his last 9. Batting under 100, last 30, batting 182. So, of course, with that oblique injury to Alex Verdugo, yes, that's going to put him on that roster, but he's going to have him on the bench, and you're going to see him in spots too. But let's see what we got. But, yeah, David Freese is a guy you got to watch out for. And the thing, too, if you look at those reverse splits, and this is the thing why David Freese, I want to see how he's going to be managed in this postseason. I think, yes, this is a team, a very analytics-oriented organization. They're a team very platoon-happy in previous years, and we're going to get an answer early on how the Dodgers are going to operate with their platoon scheme. So David Freese, if you look at him on 14 games, he appeared in 14 games last postseason. By the way, only guy really to rake in the World Series last year, David Freese. But the 14 games he appeared in, he was not available in the 8th or 9th inning in 9 of those games. So go read Tim Rogers' piece on how they're using David Freese, a fascinating look on how the Dodgers might look to use him. But that's the problem. With a guy like David Freese, you got to keep him in there. You got to keep him warm because he is so clutch. There's no analytic for intangibles, and David Freese showed us in 2011 against the Royals that this guy is as clutch as it gets when it comes to the postseason. If you look at David Freese, this guy, he's a guy who won there. He's 4th most in playoff games played with of active players. He's 4th most in baseball with 65 postseason games. So he's a guy when the pressure's on, when it's time to come up in clutch situations, Dave Freese, the guy who went up there. And also take a look at his reverse splits. If you look at him, he's slashing .287, .385, and .515 against left-handed pitching, and he's slashing .361, .435, .738 against righty. So you keep David Freese in there, and the more at-bats he has, the more opportunities he has to have a special moment. I know a lot of you guys, I asked who's going to be the Kirk Gibson of this postseason. I know a lot of you guys say it's going to be David Freese. I think it's going to be Rich Hill. So how do you guys feel about Rich Hill as that 4th starter? So I think it's very clear right now. Rich Hill, he punched his ticket into this postseason as the Dodgers' 4th starter, and I also think Dustin May did too. Dustin May, what he did in the coming out of the pen, joining the pen, in possibly Tony Gonsolin might be on the fringe here. Tony Gonsolin, we'll see. I hope that we see Gonsolin and May in the postseason. But how do you guys feel about Rich Hill as that Game 4 starter? To me, Rich Hill, if you look at him, you're talking to 2.62 postseason ERA. Charles Hamill, Doug, you going to the watch party Sunday? I will be in the house. Nice, great segue there. Just a little plug. I'll get to meet Charles Hamill, who's been rocking with us all season long. But definitely, I will be at Clearman's at the boat in Rosemead. So definitely all you guys should go. It is going to be the Dodgers party. You will not want to miss it. It is going to be litty lit, as the kids say. So go there. It's going to be lots of fun. Meet Dodger fans. Rock your Dodger gear. We're going to have some giveaways. You will not want to miss it. I think Brett Tomko, a former big leaguer, is going to be there. So you're going to get a former big leaguer in the house. Don't miss it. It's going to be great. Hopefully, we'll be celebrating an NLDS win, and maybe we can preview that NLCS. Who knows? But Lakers, 3-peat, Dodgers win it all finally. Hey, I think the Dodgers, to me, I think it culminates in a World Series. But first, we got to get through that NLDS. We're gonna cross that bridge when we get there. But here we go. Back to the comments. Dave Roberts said about Rich Hill. We're comfortable with Rich Hill going 4 innings. That's where going 8 in the bullpen makes sense. So that's from Dave Roberts. That's where 8 in the bullpen makes sense. And so the thing, too, he also mentioned that wherever the team is playing, it's not going to factor in his decision making. So he's not going with those home road splits. So that's a little of an interesting dynamic there. But he also, he said the splits matter, but we're digging a little bit deeper than home and road. So you got to trust this analytics department and a franchise and a manager. To me, I trust Dave Roberts. In Dave, we trust. Any guy back 100 win seasons in his first 4, 23 postseason wins for Dave Roberts, and he did indicate that it's going to be Rich Hill. And Hill, he's thrown 5 2/3 innings since he went down with that injury in June. And through those 5 2 innings, he's allowed just 1 run and struck out 11. So he's shown us a lot of heart. But more importantly, it's not even about the heart. Hey, we're not filming a Disney movie here. We're trying to win postseason games. And most importantly, he's shown us that he can be effective. So to me, it's how how that knee responds. So we're going to see how that knee responds. Put him at game 4. Hopefully that MCL strain can get as healthy as possible and allow him to plant. But that breaking ball was there. And after when he first went out against the Padres, when he first came back, that fastball was my concern. It was sub 90, but then that second inning, we were going to strike out 4 consecutive batters. It was sitting around 91. So the velocity was there. You got to feel good about that. So the concern, too, is Patrick Corbin. How will the Dodgers fare with Patrick Corbin? So we gave you the numbers on him. At Dodger Stadium, his ERA drops to 2.97 in over 60 2/3 innings. So if you look at it, his record, 5-9 record against the Dodgers, 303.6 ERA. This is his whole career, by the way, not just since his last 5 in 2018. 109 innings pitched, but he likes pitching at Dodger Stadium, and he fares very well there. So 7 shutout innings in 2019. This is going to be a tough task, but I think the Dodgers are more than up to it. I think the Dodgers are ready to get this going. I think Jock Peterson, 36 home runs. I think he's a guy who's going to get after it in this series. I think you're going to see him get at least one dinger off Scherzer. So the other thing, too, is if this series goes to 4 or 5 games, they're going to see Corbin a second time. So getting this series, taking care of business early on in games 1, 2, and 3. If the Dodgers come out like gangbusters and steamroll this national team, then they know it has the added benefit of not having to face Corbin again. And if it's in game 5, it's back at Dodger Stadium. So that's the thing. But hey, David Freese is the answer against Patrick Corbin. That's why I think right out the gates, I think, look, the reason why I have David Freese as my MVP, I think this could be a short series. I think a potential sweep is within the cards. I just want to see this Dodger team when the lights are bright. When the postseason is here, I have a feeling the Dodgers have been waiting for this for months and months and months and months and months and months and months. And now they're ready to go because now it's about those 11 wins, not the 106 wins. They want a chance to rewrite history and get that World Series, end the drought at 31 years. I know this team is like a snarling pit bull just ready to get after it. And David Freese, a .313 average lifetime against Corbin. So not a lot of success in this Dodger lineup, but David Freese, you know that he's going to give you a great at-bat against Corbin, so we'll see how that goes. How do you guys feel? How many innings do you think the Dodgers will get out of Walker Buehler in Game 1? I think Walker Buehler, Game 1, he's ready. I think Walker Buehler goes 7. I think Walker Buehler goes 7, gives up 5 hits. I think we're going to have a signature performance by the Buell dog. You see the look in his eye. He knows it's a special opportunity to get that ball from Dave Roberts when you got guys like Hyun-Jin Ryu, a guy who really should have won the Cy Young Award if it hadn't been for those 4 clunkers he had there in August, and then Clayton Kershaw, the pitcher of the generation. He knows the task at hand and the honor it is to be the Game 1 starter in the NLDS, and I think Walker Buehler makes the most of it. I think he goes 7. I think this lineup feels the effects of a very emotional game division game against the play-in game against the Brewers. So now, how do you guys think about Clayton Kershaw in Game 3? I think this is a great spot for Clayton Kershaw because, one, I hope the Dodgers are up 2-0 at that point. I think we've taken care of business at home. I think Hyun-Jin Ryu pitches a gem. I think Walker Buehler pitches a gem. And I think the bullpen pitches well enough. Who knows if we're going to be lights out? Look, we're probably never going to see the bullpen like we did leading up to Game 2 in the World Series in 2017 where they pitched 28 shutout innings. That was a record at the time. We're probably not going to see that. But this Dodger offense combined with the excellence of Walker Buehler, to me, I think you get 2 gems, and you set Clayton Kershaw up on the road, a chance to close out where yes, a 9-10 postseason record, 4.32 ERA, but Game 5 on the road, that's one of his shining moments, and coming in there and closing it out to take the Dodgers to the NLCS. So if you look at him, that fastball velocity, it has been diminished. He's averaging 90.4 on the fastball this year. He's got he's got the history in the postseason, but I think that Clayton Kershaw, he understands only blemish on his resume is a World Series. Only blemish is the narrative that he can't pitch in big games in the postseason, and I think that Game 3, I think you're going to see a great showing from Clayton Kershaw. But how do you guys feel about Clayton Kershaw in Game 3? Doug Slayton, Game 3 is perfect for Kersh. He'll shine. Dez, he switched his shoes. He is with oh, yeah, the Skechers. I saw that, man. Hey, Clayton Kershaw, you rocking the Skechers, my man. Hey, Skechers, hey, there's nothing wrong with Skechers. Skechers are clean. Skechers are clean. Actually started out in Manhattan Beach, out in California. I actually know the people who started Skechers. Shout out to them. They're probably watching this show. Shout out to the Skechers people, though. But the Skechers, you got to love that. Hey, Joe Montana did Skechers. I am not mad at it. And he's going to be wearing it. When they say he's going to be wearing a Skechers cleat, that's going to be crazy. But, hey, now I would much rather be Kenley Jansen and be signed to Jordan Brand. But, hey, that Skechers, I'll wear anything if they're paying me. So I'm not mad at Clayton Kershaw. Perfect game by Adam Hanks. Strange says stop. Elm Street, Skechers are ugly. This is becoming a focus group for Skechers. Hey, I used to like those. I used to rock the light up Skechers back in the day. I think I still have them, bro. I'd rock with those. Why don't they make light ups for adults, man? Give me some light up Skechers Kershaw signature shoes. But, hey, and that's the thing, too. He signs with Skechers, eliminate that sketchy postseason pass. I like what you're saying out there. Charles Hamill, the way they did the starting pitches for Game 1, 2, and 3 is perfect. Lakers, the question is the pitching, not the hitting. I disagree with that. I think the question is the hitting. I think the Dodgers pitching is going to have their way with this lineup in stretches. I think they'll get their runs, and there's no question about it. If you look at this Nationals, the Dodgers offense versus their lefties. So that is the concern. I think it's the Dodgers, if you look to the Dodgers versus lefties, that's been a problem in the past, right? This year, they're ranked 4th in the National League with a 103 WRC+, and they also rank 2nd in the National League in ISO, isolated power against left-handers. So they're getting hard contact, and I think that's one of the messages that the Dodgers sent early on in this series, that they're able to hit lefties, that they're able to come in and get at bats, and I think that'll improve, especially if you look to Cody Bellinger, his splits are decent too with lefties. So I think it's going to be about, but yeah, if you look at this Dodger pitching, if you look at some of the threats that these Nationals pose, you got Soto, you got Eaton, Trey Turner, Brian Dozier, Cabrera, Robles, the towel waiver from last night, Howie Kendrick are they all can get it done offensively. And if you look at so Trey Turner, he's a guy, he's hitting .298, stole 35 bases in 122 games. So don't let him get on late against Kenley Jansen. Then, of course, Adam Eaton, he's healthy. Adam Eaton is healthy right now, and he's posting a 108 WRC+. Rendon, he's the guy that you got to watch out for. Anthony Rendon. By the way, real quick, do you want to see maybe Anthony Rendon gets beat bad with the Dodgers and says, hey, can't beat him, join him. Maybe Anthony Rendon sees this as an opportunity, sees what this Dodger club is building. Maybe we get Rendon in the offseason. You've seen the reports that the Nationals offered him a contract, just like they did with, that was just how it was with Bryce Harper. By the way, Bryce Harper, how's it going? He's going to be like you and I watching the game. Maybe you can use all that money and get a dugout seat. Hey, that'd be kind of nice. Maybe you'll see Bryce Harper. But Bryce Harper, he will not be in tomorrow's game. He plays in Philadelphia, and he's on the couch like you and I. So he's a nacho eater like you and I. But if you look at Anthony Rendon, he's a guy who last night he got that big walk. If Anthony Rendon doesn't get walked, we don't face the Nationals. We're playing the Brewers. Last 30 games for Anthony Rendon, he's hitting .277, slugging .515. Last 15, he's hitting .163, slugging .265. Last 7 games, he's 3 for 20, batting 150, slugging .200. So Anthony Rendon, his production has dipped very significantly when, hey, if he finishes that season strong, he probably takes that MVP from Cody Bellinger, at least makes a big time, gives him a big time run for his money. So he's a guy, but how do you guys feel? Are you guys afraid of Anthony Rendon? To me, I love him as a future Dodger. I think maybe you move Justin Turner to first, put Rendon at third, especially when you consider the Dodgers were going to make I think you go with that. So But anyways, Anthony Rendon, if you look at him, like I said, slashing 319, 412, 598. But he's not very hot right now. He's a guy, maybe he turns it on right now. Maybe he catches fire, but he's not he's not his best at the plate at the moment. But we'll see tomorrow. It's a postseason. It's a different animal altogether. And I don't think there's very much to be made with that too. So Juan Soto, he's the guy too. How exciting is this rookie? 4.8 WAR. He's the guy. Then Howie Kendrick, and if you look to Cabrera, Suzuki. But like I said, we're going to get to that bullpen, and the Dodgers are going to match. So if you look at this bullpen, Sean Doolittle, he's got if you look at Sean Doolittle, he's a guy, a 5.08 xFIP this season. They had the fewest strikeouts. So the Dodgers, the Nats bullpen, that's where the Dodgers are going to eat. The Dodgers are going to rake this bullpen. They've had the fewest amount of strikeouts. Opponents hit a league high 266 against them. As a team, they blew 29 saves, which is tied with the Dodgers, but we know why that happened. And the Dodgers, so that's the thing. The Dodgers got to get to this bullpen. They got to eat. But hey, don't underestimate the fact that this is a special Dodger team. We told you that run differential earlier. If you look to the Dodgers per Fangraphs, their pitchers and hitters amass the most WAR in the league. So the analytics love the Dodgers. The Dodgers have momentum. By the way, go to DodgersNation.com and get geared up for the postseason. Come check us out at the boat for the party on Sunday. It is going to be off the chain, Maine. It's going to be lit. But the big thing too is the Dodgers. They didn't have to fight and claw their way into this postseason. They set themselves up very nicely with the rotation. And too, if you look to, the thing too about the lineups, the only thing we don't know right now is the lineups. With Alex Verdugo out, it made it easier on us to know that it was going to be Matt Beatty and that Gavin Lux was going to make that postseason roster. With Tony Gonsolin maybe on the fringe right now, but Dustin May being lights out, he's going to get that spot. Julio Urias, Kenta Maeda, Rich Hill. Kolarek is probably going to be that first guy that comes out of the pen. That's how Dave Roberts has been using him lately. I think you'll see him coming out of the pen first, but we don't know the lineups. The Dodgers this year, they featured 160 different batting orders, 154 different defensive lineups, 9 different players made a start at first base. So the Dodgers, are going to shove things around. They are paying close attention to those analytics. Ryan Montez, there you go, 210 to 215 million. Carlos Vargas, I'm not scared of the Nats at all. The G-Nats. Jose, is JT healthy? Hey, as far as we know, Justin Turner is going to be ready to go. The splits with him. When the Dodgers win games, you can check that box score. You're probably going to see a hit or two from Ginger Jesus. So he's going to be ready to roll. They were giving him some extra time. Might take him a game or so to get that timing where he wants, but look for a big postseason. I think Justin Turner, he knows, hey, how many years does he have left as the Dodgers' third baseman? Maybe this is the last go-round. Maybe he goes to first after this. We know he's maybe lost a step or two at third. I think he sees this, hey, you don't get very many opportunities to get a World Series. I think he sees this as a big showcase. I think Justin Turner has that signature series, a signature postseason, and he hits very well. If you look, too, Justin Turner, hey, man, he brought it in the World Series. Justin Turner in the World Series, he hit 333. It was 8 for 24. But I definitely fully expect him to be in. I expect him to be a core contributor to the Dodgers' offensive attack. Cyberpunk, Nats are a bad team. Charles Hamble, JT has been practicing in sim games. Yeah, he's been practicing in sim games, going against live hitting. So he's ready. That he's been putting in the work, and he's going to be ready to go when the Dodgers take on the Nationals tomorrow in Game 1 of the NLDS. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you guys for the postseason? I can't even sleep, man. The countdown is on. It feels like Christmas Eve right now. Ryan Montez, I'm hoping Bellinger with the home run. Predict who hits a home run for the Dodgers tomorrow. I think David Freese goes deep. Ryan Kelly, that's huge. But here, at the 55-minute mark, guys, thanks for rocking with us. No game to break down, but we just want to give you guys, I know you guys are ready to inhale all Dodger content, especially when it comes from Dodgers Nation, because they do it the best. So definitely go to DodgersNation.com. A lot of great pieces from Daniel Preciado, Jason McClure, Clint Pasillas, and company over there, Tim Rogers, Marshall Garvey, the Dream Team staff over there, always giving you that A1 Dodger content. Dodgers face off tomorrow at the Ravine. Game 1 of the NLCS. Walker Buehler takes the hill against Patrick Corbin. To me, I think Dodgers in 4. I got David Freese raking all series long. Elm Street's got Chris Taylor going 5. Region, go Dodgers. But thanks again for rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation NLDS preview show. You can follow me at DMAC_LA. You can check out my podcast at Get More Sports. Check me out on social media at DMAC_LA. Got all the news on all on my podcast, and of course all the Dodgers Nation stuff. But thanks for rocking with us, guys. Have a great day. We're going to be coming at you live tomorrow, so we're going to be back this time tomorrow breaking it all down. But thanks again, guys. Go Dodgers, and I'm out.